I don't want to be enslaved to this push-pull every other day because you're too afraid to take off the mask from whom you try to portray. Inconsistency is the path of breadcrumbs that you lay to a prison called toxicity where someone once tried to make me stay. But I've lived there before, covered in love notes, love bombs, and late-night knocks on the door because he needed to be sure that I was locked in. Before he could turn that tide, those words like knives and keep me lapping at his shore. He placed those morsels of kindness expertly apart to keep me coming back for more. Not so many that I might actually feel secure, but just enough so that love became rationed and he could blame me for the score. Love was a roller coaster that left me war-torn, and I fell hook, line, and sinker, his tactics unbeknownst to me before. You might call me an overly trusting unicorn. Sparkling, never doubting those fishtails or fake reports. And so I slipped. Through that hole that he dug in the floor, words thrown down on my head of which he had an endless store, so that he could keep me as his very own horrendous. It's not that I didn't try to end this, devalued and disgraced, so many lies he'd say straight-faced, bold as daybreak, but hate-laced, until I was wasted, frozen in haste, cowering under his volume and red face. Even the simplest conversation became a race. My heart would pace just mentioning his mistakes that all of a sudden led to a high-speed mental chase, and truth disappeared without a trace. As he would throw distractions, I would dodge, holding fast to the heart of his actions, but somehow I always dropped my map and lost my traction. After the game of charades, he'd finally look up and say, "It's a shame you never want to talk about things." Just to make sure reality nosedived into a grave, all these false statements leaving me blank in the face. You see, talking heart to heart is my passion, but this discourse was destined to a detour of dead ends, his master plan in action to tank the conversation without due satisfaction. Now it was suddenly opposite day when I tried to convey those coming attractions. Every train of thought derailed, sabotaging any logical reaction because that's what he wanted. And I just got exhausted. My attempts to connect accosted. To look back wasn't cute amid the verbal abuse. It didn't matter anyway because my voice was on mute, but I thought to myself, as I felt more astute, those nails he threw out almost ended my pursuits. And there's nothing to say now because he cannot compute truth. Any feedback that challenges his power absolute is shot down and dismantled to disable dispute. So new friend, beware. If you start laying down crumbs, pushing and pulling, I might pick up my guns. I shoot from the hips now, before it's ever begun.